Good morning and welcome back to the channel. This is My Persistence Project, and I just finished up week 11 of Ironman Portugal training. This week it was a really fun, exciting week because I biked the Colorado National Monument, which was about a 40-mile loop with about 2,700 feet of climbing. It was by far the hardest thing I've ever done, especially on a bike, but it was also so cool. So let's talk about it. Bike on the monument was my biggest workout of the week, and honestly, it was one of the biggest confidence builders I've had. That was kind of my goal or intention of the monument, was to get some serious climbing in and build confidence on the bike. I wanted to have time in the seat, make sure I could, spend 4 or 5 hours on the bike, and then also do the elevation gain. So it was 40 miles. The first 10 were basically straight uphill. It was like between a 3 and 6% grade the entire time, climbing like 2,000 feet to the visitor center. And then after we got like the 6 miles to the visitor center, it was a little bit rolling. And then once you hit another portion, it was like 4 more miles with 1,000 feet of elevation gain. So very much so, lots of climbing, lots of low gear. I also opted to get off my bike every few miles, take some gels, and just get out of the saddle. Saddle pain is one of my problems, and so that was one of my goals. So got to the top, and then at around 14 miles, you start going down. And because it was about 47 that day, it instantly got cold. So after a little while, I stopped and put on my other layers that I brought. And then as soon as that happened, it was uphill again. And so around mile 17, you're finally done with all the uphills, and then it's mostly down, or it's all down. It was like decently like mild downhill for a while. I ended up hitting snow a few times, which I've never done on my bike before. So I unclipped and was definitely slower going down. And then we got to the like 6% grade down, and that was way harder and way scarier than I thought. Managing my speed and like keeping the brake on, as well as my hands and feet were freezing by that point because you just can't keep any heat. But it was really cool. Really cool. I ended up only averaging about 8.7 miles per hour, but my heart rate was 138, and it was just a really fun day. It taught me a lot of grit and how to push through, and proved to myself that I can do hard things. This is about the same elevation as Oceanside. It's not the same like elevation profile, but it's about the same elevation. So that was a good confidence builder. Beyond the monument, I did a lot of other workouts. I ended up doing 3,200 yards of swimming. My stroke is definitely improving. Some of the things I'm really focused on right now are high elbow and wrist entry. I even did some closed fist drills. Very funky, but actually work so very well. I feel like my technique is clicking a lot more. And a year ago, the 1.2 miles took me forever. I went back and looked, and the first time I ever swam a mile, it was like an hour and 18 minutes. And I do it consistently now in about 55 to 58 minutes. And so definitely a lot of progress there, and I'm proud of that. Biking was a huge amount this week. It was 67 miles total, which was a monument and a brick workout. The brick was 50 minutes on the trainer with 3-minute fast finish and then 35-minute run. And I ended up doing a 6-minute transition, which felt really strong. My running this week was 7 miles. I did intervals, so 6 times 90 seconds at it's supposed to be under a 12-minute pace. Usually it's around an 11-minute pace with 2-minute recovery. My shins and feet were definitely acting up because of my weird bike geometry, so I didn't push it too hard, and I called it when I needed to, which I think was the right choice. I did 3 strength sessions, but it was a deload week, and that was so nice, having like 3 quick lifts. And I really have been focusing on form because like my elbow sometimes acts up if I do push-ups and things like that, and I need that to stay healthy, especially for swimming. 9 out of 10 of my workouts were complete. I'm doing my long run tomorrow on Monday because I definitely needed to prioritize rest after the monument. My body really, really needed it. So a few of the things that kind of sucked about this week is one, my bike seat. I've been dealing with some chafing and some just having a really hard time finding a saddle that is comfortable. And so I've tried a lot of different ones. I found one that like works okay, but the long ride is definitely hard. My ankles also have been really hard to manage between biking and running. I've been having some pain, and I have an old ankle injury that's kind of flaring up. And so running and biking is just a lot to manage. So I'm working on my ankle strength and mobility. And then also like my motivation has started to wane. It's the monument ride definitely took a lot out of me. And so managing, staying motivated. One of the things I will do is take a big rest day and with no expectation, no hiking, no other activities, really just resting, relaxing, hanging out, vegging. And that always gives me a little bit more motivation back. I'm really proud of how I showed up, but it's definitely something I'm working on managing. A couple of the things I learned this week are, one, I can do really hard things on the bike. The monument helped prove that to myself, that I didn't think I could handle that much elevation, and I was really worried about it. And so I went and did it to prove to myself that I could. And the confidence helps so much. Technique absolutely matters more than you realize. My swim coach has been giving me some solid feedback and focusing on form over speed, because slow is smooth and smooth is fast. And so really focusing on smooth body position. And then finally, rest is training. I skipped and moved around different workouts this week to make sure I had enough time to rest. And that was absolutely the right call. You need rest, and your body will break down if you're not careful. And so making sure that you don't crush yourself is absolutely very important. I'm looking forward to is next week. I have a really long break coming up. I'm excited to do the bike and then get off and run and see how that transition goes. It's something I'm definitely working on. So it'll be good to practice that. And then we are officially 38 weeks from the Portugal full Ironman and 9 weeks out of Oceanside. We have 11 weeks of training down, and we're going to keep going. And that is it. That is week 11 of training. I hope you're following along. Please like and subscribe to see the rest of this journey. This is My Persistence Project. Let's get it.